Hello, my name is Hannah Kassab. I am an assistant professor at East Carolina University in Greenville, North Carolina, United States. And I've been given an incredible opportunity, an opportunity most people dream about. Uh, I've been chosen for the U.S. U.S. Department of Defense's Minerva Grant, and it allows me to conduct a study overseas on the issue of food nationalism. So, this grant from the Department of Defense will give me the opportunity to travel just in this year, in the next few weeks, to Greece, to Northern Macedonia, to Turkey, to Armenia, and to India. So, for 2 months, I'll be traveling. Each country I'll spend about 2 weeks, and the study will focus on food and the conflict over ownership. Now, this might seem very trivial, uh, and many people would consider it like part of the banal nationalism literature, and that would be correct. That's where I got the inspiration from, where like you have these banal symbols like flags, um, songs, heroes, symbols of nationalism. And if you study it, if you study that symbol, food, you'll be able to better understand nationalism and nationalist conflict. It's places where you don't see conflict, really. Like when you think about conflict, nationalist conflict, you think of Yugoslavia, you think of some of the worst crimes against humanity. Um, you think about the extreme versions of nationalism, but you don't think of the everyday. And that's the best part of this research, is that you look at things that no one really considers to be part of a wider discourse of an identity manufacturing, overall, what Benedict Anderson calls the imagined community. Um, and so this is an incredible opportunity that I've worked for many years. Like it just didn't happen. I didn't just get this idea overnight. About 10 years ago, I was walking. It was in Miami during when I was a University of Miami PhD student. I was walking along um, an open like mall, like not a closed door mall, like an open mall. And I was walking along, and I say Israeli restaurant sign. So I go, wait, that's great. I like Israeli food. Back at my old university, York University, I used to frequent a kosher um, um, cafeteria restaurant at my university at York in Toronto, and I used to love the latkes, and I used to love the different things that they have, the matzo ball soup. I used to like that. It was very comforting, especially on those cold days. And so I went. I was like, great! I get to get me some latkes and whatnot. And then I go over there, I check out the menu, and it's all falafel and hummus, and these delicious, like it's Middle Eastern food, right? So Israel is in the Middle East, so but in my mind, this is Lebanese food, and I'm Lebanese. My background is Lebanese. I grew up in St. Kitts and Nevis, and I'm here on a green card. Wonderful opportunity. I've been very fortunate to have these opportunities to be in the United States and to be sponsored and to be working here at East Carolina University. That's another thing. I love this university. I usually tell people I'm going to die in this office. You're going to have to pull my corpse out of this office. I'm not going anywhere. This is my home. Um, so I'm looking at the menu, and I'm looking at it. It's like falafel. I say, okay, this is not. So I say, this is not Israeli food. This is not Jewish food. This is Lebanese food, right? And I said it in a way that was like very loud and aggressive, as I tend to be. And right behind me was the owner was very embarrassed because she said, "It's okay, come on in. The food's good." And I was too embarrassed, because I brought up ownership. I felt kind of disappointed in myself. But it got me thinking. If I think like that, I wonder if other people, think like that. So I began doing research, and I found out that there's a whole literature and a lot of journalism that defines this sort of argument of ownership. Um, and I was particularly interested in the Israeli, Middle East, Arab, if you want to call it Arab world, this conflict. And one article I read, or either that or I said it, I don't remember exactly. I have to find the quote, but the person, the whole aura is, or the vibe, as the kids say, is they stole our land, now they're gonna steal our food, right? So this idea of ownership plays into nationalist conflict, and I've done a bit of reading, and there's some cases that are very easy, like the Israeli Arab case. This is an easy case, or an ideal type, fits my argument very well. And then there's harder cases, and then there's cases that are very confusing. So difficult cases, stuff that I haven't found much about, is Turkey and Armenia. I don't really know the ideas surrounding food nationalism there. I'm familiar with the history, and I'm familiar with nationalism of those countries and how the conflicts between those countries. I'm very familiar with that. Um, then there's confusing India. India is really quite an interesting case. So I was supposed to go to Pakistan as well, but I decided against it because of the instability there. So I switched my attention purely on India and Indian nationalism, because India in and of itself, it's a highly divided country, not just in terms of ethnicities, language, religion, but also the caste system. And there's different groups there that are considering or have a history of being very fiercely autonomous, almost separatist. So I want to see how they talk about food and food nationalism. And in that respect, the the key when it comes to scholarship, you can't let your biases drive you. You can't have an idea in your head and then make the pieces fit together. You're going to have to go in with a fresh mind and a curious mind to see what exactly is driving discussions, and whether or not those discussions on food will be linked to nationalist conflict. And this research is very important for the entire, like, the international system as a whole. Much of my research, much of my scholarship has been on realist or realism, and the fact that states seek security to survive. It has been highly critical of globalization, in the sense of the nation state or the state is still quite relevant. And so I expect that because of this growing multipolarity, that there might be this increased drive toward nationalism. And I believe we're seeing that all over the world with what Russia is doing in Ukraine, China's aggressive stance toward Taiwan, Venezuela, and its relationship with Guyana. We're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing the Japan remilitarize, India, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, the UAE. These countries are defying standard realist bandwagoning concept and actually conducting their own foreign policy independent of a major power. So all of this is tied into this idea of nationalism, right? And whether the state is indeed making, let's say, a comeback, right? I mean, it never went away, but a lot of scholars thought that the state would simply disappear, especially after the fall of the Soviet Union. I wrote a few books on that subject, And I think everything is a culmination that I've done in the past is going to be culminated in this project that I'm about to embark on. This is day 0. This is my last day in the office. Um, and so the following videos, I hope and I plan on after my day going out and studying the country, trying to meet people, which has been very difficult. That's a different subject altogether. Trying to meet people, make appointments, go to those appointments, or just do a cold call visit, or just try to meet people. I'm a very outgoing, extroverted person, so you never know what might be ahead. Thankfully, I have some appointments in many countries. Some more than others. Some are incredible. Like in 2 countries in particular, I don't want to say which ones just yet. In 2 countries in particular, I will have no problem meeting people. I will have no problem because I'm going to be pushed into that environment. But in other countries, it's going to be a bit more difficult. And that might be a benefit because of the differences in approaches. You never know what you're going to get out of it. And so I'm trying to keep an open mind on everything. And again, this is an incredible opportunity. Most people dream about this, right? Dream about this opportunity being placed upon them. And I'm very happy. I'm very thankful to the Department of Defense, to the Minerva Initiative, that they saw the merit of what I proposed in my grant. I wouldn't be able to do this without them, without the Minerva Initiative. So I'm very thankful. I'm also thankful to everyone here at my university, East Carolina, to the office managers helping me with my paperwork, my grant work, to the grant office, to Reddy, to everyone involved, to the dean, to my chair, to my security studies director. Everyone has been behind me, and it's incredible. You cannot find, if you find a place like this, you just don't leave. If Harvard came a-calling, I wouldn't go. I would stay right here because you can't find colleagues like this, people that you work with that are, just a pleasure to be around. So I'm very happy, very pleased, I'm very thankful. So these videos will serve as like field notes. I'm gonna try to learn how to edit videos so I can, put or splice in or edit in pictures of foods and maybe different photographs of major sites, restaurants. I'm fascinated by monuments because monuments are memory, right? And that's what nationalism was all about. It's about memory. It's about what you remember and how you remember it, and exactly the dichotomy between friend and enemy, between insider and outsider. A lot of nationalist literature focuses purely on the inside, but who are you unless you compare yourself to someone else? Right? That's the whole crux. Samuel Huntington's Clash of Civilizations was a really great book. It was panned for being racist, but I mean that's just a simplistic criticism. I don't think it doesn't warrant that. Samuel Huntington was talking about how culture is going to be more important, going to be more important as the world becomes globalized. That's it. It's about civilizations. It's about how people see each other and how people see the outside world. That's it, right? So that's what I'm trying, in that spirit of bold curiosity. That's what I'm going. And Huntington, you have to admit, the guy, he knew that people were panning his work, but he still went and wrote a book out of that article that he wrote, and I think it was in Foreign Affairs. Anyway, so all that being said, these videos will be like field notes, and I want my university to kind of follow along. I want everyone to follow along on this journey. I want to keep everyone posted on my advancements. and I know it's going to be exhausting. I know it's not going to be fun. I'm going to be up and at 'em, hopefully every day, um, barring sickness, barring any issues. Every day I'm going to have a mission that, you just go out and you're going to try to achieve something. Um, and on the weekend, I'll try to relax, take it easy, kind of look at my notes, have a couple of brewskis, stuff like that. One thing you don't think about, there's certain things you don't think about. One of those, what am I going to wear? What am I going to dress? What's my dress going to be? And I know I don't want to dress up too formally, or else I'll look weird. I won't look relaxed. And then at the same time, you don't want to dress up like a t-shirt, because then you don't look professional. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. That's something I'm packing tonight, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I got you know, all my paperwork ready. I got everything. Everything's good to go. Good to go, as I say. Um, yeah. So thanks to the Minerva Grant, thanks to my institution. Um, really happy to be doing this. And every day I'm going to post, God willing, every day I'm going to post a video illustrating what happened that day. And that will be like field notes that everyone can follow me and figure out like what the heck's going on. And it should be fun. I hope. All right. Well, thank you very much. And I look forward to the next one, which should be, either maybe in the airport. I'll do one in the airport. Call that day one, because you never know who you meet while you're waiting for your flight. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.